Have you ever heard about the tragedy of Starfield, the unfinished mess?
So Quinn made a tweet. He says 10 out of 10 would refund again. Hashtag Starfield.
Smart.
Parentheses, this game is an unfinished, buggy mess. So you see there's the order confirmation
Some would call that the Bethesda charm.
right there. Ordered from Steam, NZ $184. In real money, that is $100 because obviously he had to get the refund. New Zealand dollars, a little bit different. Anyway, so he did get his money back, and Starfield is no longer in his library.
Smart.
He has moved past that. And he made a tweet, and he said this. He said, Diablo 4 is better than Starfield, and Diablo 4 is bad. Wow. So let's...
Imagine making something worse than Diablo 4. Man, it kind of makes sense why all those AAA gaming devs were afraid of Baldur's Gate 3's success. It really puts into perspective. Blizzard, multi-billion-dollar company. Diablo 4. Starfield, a Bethesda, a multi-billion-dollar company, bought by a bigger multi-billion-dollar company. Yeah, you kind of understand why they were scared.
Let's see. I saw people linking me some clips of Quinn. Oh, he beat the game? Well, I'm sorry to hear that. That's horrible that happened to him.
Like, D4 is better
Volume.
than Starfield.
Ooh.
Pain.
And D4 is bad. Yo, there we go! That is what I call success! That is what...
Imagine being a developer and someone says, your game is worse than Diablo 4. What do you do? Do you end it all right there because it's time to delete your Minecraft character because life is just not worth living? What do you do?
What I call
Wow.
success. Alright, to be fair, it was falsely advertised. It's not... The game isn't even fucking finished. It is a buggy mess, and yeah, let me tell you.
Jesus, bro. So he actually got his shit refunded.
But the Bethesda charm, it's a Bethesda... Yeah. The fact that it's Bethesda doesn't mean that you can release a game that is barely functioning, okay? Stop calling that the Bethesda charm, you absolute fanboy.
Content creators, and they are turning them into shills with... they are getting content creators, and they are turning them into shills with their, you know... By doing this fucking early access, good boy behavior gets the good boy biscuit.
I told you this. Bethesda gave review copies only to the people, only to the outlets that were gonna guaranteed give them a 10 out of 10 pretty much. That's it.
Biscuits.
Who talked about this 2 years ago? Who
Me?
was it?
Oh, he's such a fan. Thank you, Asmon.
I said this shit was gonna happen. Like, I did.
From
I
me.
said this shit was gonna happen because it's common sense.
Because it
Routine.
has happened like
and
50
I don't know.
times.
We need to call out the companies for doing it, and we need. It's just such. It's just so toxic, and it's also so anti you guys, the consumers, like anyone who's buying the games. Because guess what? They're basically just rigging. It's like rigging the reviews. It's rigging the public perception.
I'm so
That's
glad
not
to hear
new.
Quinn say this. I'm actually so happy to hear him say this because he's the only person that I've ever heard speak up about this. And I'm gonna
Really?
replay it just so you guys completely understand the context. I'm gonna go to the full VOD so
Game
you can
companies.
listen to what he's saying.
Really talk to me. The community manager that actually does talk to me, he also, I mean, I don't want to be toxic, but he also, I mean, he will still reply, but not publicly. I am blacklisted. Like, no, I am absolutely blacklisted. I'm not trying to get back in that club. That's the whole thing. I fucking hate that. I like to just play a game, and then I just say what I think about a game.
Imagine
And I
that.
feel like this is a toxic thing that is happening in the gaming industry right now, where these large AAA game companies, they are getting content creators, and they are turning them into shills with their, you know, by doing this fucking early access.
I mean, on the bright side, the shills will be punished. Look at me. I'm just laughing about everyone who's currently making, oh, but Starfield's an amazing experience, 10 out of 10. I'm making fun of all of those people, and there's a lot of people making fun of those people. That's what shills get at the end of the day.
Good boy behavior gets the good boy biscuits routine. And I don't know, we need to call out the companies for doing it. And we need to, it's just so toxic, and it's also so anti you guys, the consumers, like anyone who's buying the games. Because guess what? They basically just rig.
Oh, by the way, I didn't get to mention this ever before, but someone was right about this. Starfield is the most blandest Bethesda experience ever because they literally took not a single risk. There's not even a single stripper in the game. Like, is that even a Bethesda game? No, that's not even a Bethesda game anymore.
Rigging. It's like rigging the reviews. It's rigging the public perception. Because people trust content creators, they trust streamers, and if the streamer's saying it's good, they're gonna be like, if I say a game's good, you're gonna, generally speaking, a lot of you guys are gonna be like, oh shit, I might play that. Or if someone else says a game's good that you watch and you enjoy, guess what? You're gonna consider playing that. I don't think so. Yeah, that is how it works. That's literally how it works. There's a reason why they call streamers influencers, okay? Because they exert influence. That's the reality. That's the reality. And if they're turning, and if they're able to do that, I don't know, man.
I called this shit out 2 fucking years ago.
Why not 10 years ago when it started? Well, actually, it started before that, but you know, it kind of like, you know, started really, really hard more than 2 years ago. Like, this has been a very, very epistemic problem for, like, I don't know, 7+ years ago at least. On a super grand scale.
And I said that this was problematic and it was bad for consumers. And now, finally, 2 fucking years later, somebody else finally sees the big picture.
Oh, don't pat your back, Asmon, about that. You just watched my video.
Finally see the big
Good
picture
boy, though. Good boy.
of why it's a bad idea and why it's consumer unfriendly that some people get access to things early whenever they have a positive relationship with the company. And the way that it is bad is because those people are the ones that put the first impression in the minds of the viewers, and they
You know what Desmond's trying to do here? He's trying to pull off a CoffeeZilla. He's trying to take something that is already publicly known and make a video about it so he can be the first one to share this to the public. Oh, what a great actual move that is, though. Pretty powerful. Like, again, a lot of people... Yeah, man, if you can pull this off, it's great. Like, look at CoffeeZilla. The guy exposed Logan Paul's or Jake Paul's or whoever the Paul's NFTs. That shit was already known like, literally a year before he even made a video about it. But now the internet touts him as the one who exposed him. Bruh! Man, the internet needs to get a couple of brain cells more than they currently have. I don't think that one cell is multiplying. I don't think that one cell can even find a skull to rub against, you know? Oof, boy.
find the conversation about the product. And these individuals are used as marketing tools, and there is a positive profit incentive for them to provide favorable coverage to these video games and to other things as well. Again, this is an overall issue. I apologize for the flashbang, but this is the fucking reality. It is called access journalism, and it is older than video games itself.
Yeah.
And I said this shit was going to happen, and people said, oh, companies should be able to let people do whatever they want. They should be able to do whatever they want. Well, of course they should be able to do whatever they want, but that doesn't mean that they should do it.
The next thing Asmongold is going to learn, and again from me probably, is going to be the fact that companies don't need to make money. All of you who said that, oh, companies need to make money, oh, the developers need to make... They're already making 5 times more money than they should be actually getting. They're already making all of the money. And now you're using that excuse that they're not even richer than they already are? An excuse to ruin gaming? That's the that is the next thing you're gonna learn, okay? I'm fucking Alex Jones of the company shit, okay? I predict the future. Give it 2 years, and he's gonna complain about, oh, companies. But companies need to make money part, okay?
It's problematic. It puts, and it negatively hurts. It hurts the streamers, what, for 8 hours? Oh my god, I think I'll live. But who does it really hurt? You. It hurts you. Because the person who receives the early copy, who then has a positive incentive to provide favorable coverage to that video game, now is going to provide that favorable coverage.
He's actually slightly misrepresenting the Bethesda thing. The Bethesda thing is even more outrageous than other companies, because Bethesda is literally only giving out copies to people that they know will 100% cover their stuff positively. If you have covered their stuff negatively, you're not getting a copy in the first place. Forget about it.
More than if it was done equally. And whenever that favorable coverage is applied, and you say, you know what? Maybe I'm gonna drop the fucking Benjamin. Maybe I'm gonna spend $100. Well, guess what happens?
Well, not having euros.
Todd got you again. It just works.
Call him a snake soil salesman, just like I thought you.
And it does. And that's why the companies do it. I said this shit was going to happen. It's happening now, and it will continue to happen. Thank you so much, Quinn. Quinn is the first person I have ever heard speak out against this. And to ever explain the problem to the audience. Like, fucking massive W for Quinn.
Did he explain the problem?
I have never had anybody else. I've never heard anybody else say this. No, I can wait. Early access journalists are paid to support their paycheck. The point is that people that are given early access, and if the early access is only given to certain individuals, then it creates a winners and losers situation. And it is favoritism with, like, streamer politics. Sure.
Dude, the NPC dialogue music is just popping off. Oh boy, this is like perfect timing.
But, like, you know, you manage that and you play the game. But the real people who lose out is the audience. And I'll give you an example of how this happens.
Okay, go for it.
Reasons you should not trust Metacritic scores. Hashtag Starfield.
Oh boy, are we gonna get the absolute groundbreaking, ground-shattering, earth-bending, heaven-defying take that Metacritic scores are stupid and paid for? Oh boy, man, it's like we're really gaining new ground here. Wow, trusting review sites by paid actors is a bad idea. Woo, man, wow.
Field. Metacritics went down to 86 today. Due to the So Video Games podcast review 65. They played 5 hours, 1 mainline quest, and 1 to 2 side missions, and called it quits with some of the worst takes I've ever seen. So this is the this is what they said about Starfield. Starfield is a pretty good time. It's basically Fallout 4 in space with some sci-fi and procedural generation. Thank you, ChatGPT. I really appreciate that. Special episode Starfield, the chat review. Here
I mean, that's the truest review I have heard so far.
we go. It's so funny. We both played about 4 to 5 hours. I was pretty close to 5 hours, if not a little bit longer than that. These are what you like to call hardcore gamers.
True.
Ooh, hardcore
By the way, that's
gamers.
true.
Right
That's not even that.
there it is. Number 1, I hate the city. I hate the way you've been in it. Right. I'm good where I'm at now. Yep, there you go. And we're flipped because I don't like a lot of it. And by the way, this is again negative review. Join your negative. Don't we think this is a system? This is what happens. Imagine getting paid to say a good thing about a company. No. I have no problem with people taking sponsorships. I have no problem with it. Because I take sponsorships. Oh, and by the way, guys, I will still take any early access copy I can get. Because you know what? It's beneficial to me, and I'll always do it. However,
yeah, basic
it is
sense.
harmful to the industry, and you should get mad at the companies for doing it. However, this is what I'm trying to say. Is that whenever you have a sponsorship, you have to disclose that you are doing an ad. A hashtag ad. And
I think
because
that's
of that,
a Twitch thing.
users are now able to know that this is a sponsor, this is a promotion, and it is not supposed to be taken as an objective review in the same way than if it was not sponsored. Taking sponsorship is one thing, but will you give your honest opinion about the game? I did. I've given my honest opinion about the game 50 times. I've given it 50 times. To Ubisoft's credit, they give early access to everyone, even those that have regularly criticized them.
No, they don't.
I don't know if they do that. If that's the case, then yeah.
That's an absolute lie.
W's for...
We had a drama before the release about it that a couple of companies that didn't get the early copies. That's because all of those companies would actually rate the game probably negatively.
Them. Have you been scared of taking an early copy of a game knowing it would be bad? No, not really. I don't really do a lot of that anyway. Yeah, that's really what it is. You tiptoed around the idea of saying the game wasn't good?
Yeah, true.
The reason why...
Big true, by the way, big true. I did... he has, not VODs, but he had YouTube videos. I actually watched them. He did... Dude, he did not call the game bad at all at the start. Or later even, I think. I'm not sure when he started calling the game bad.
The game wasn't good. The people that are criticizing me for that are so fucking stupid, they're dumber than the people that like the game. So the reason why I why I didn't really go and shit on the game immediately whenever it first came out, it's very simple. It's because I don't think that I'm the target audience for this kind of a game. I've never really enjoyed Bethesda games. So
okay, let me stop you right there. That's already the absolutely dumbest fucking take that you can humanly ever make! Oh, I'm not the target audience for this, so I better not criticize it. You know? Yeah, so what? If I buy something in a store that's marketed as X and I receive a piece of shit and get beaten outside of the store by a group of people, do I not get to call that out for being bad because, oh, you're not the target? Get the fuck out with that stupid take, like, Jesus Christ.
So I didn't want to completely shit on a game whenever I played it the, quote, wrong way, and I just went off and did what I did. I didn't...
Quote wrong way, that's actually, ironically, the supposedly right way, you know? How many people actually go do the main quest in any Bethesda game? How many times have you actually just went and did the main quest in a single Fallout game? Never! How many times have you done the main quest in Skyrim? Never! I have not even finished the main quest a single time, by the way, in Skyrim. That's the most funniest part of them all, probably. I also have never finished the main quest in Fallout 3. In New Vegas multiple times, though. But in Fallout 3, never. I just sidetracked and did the other stuff until I got just bored of the game. The main quest is never even the attraction. Like, so you played it the right way. You see how bullshit these takes are?
I didn't think that was fair. I didn't think it was fair to give, like, a review of the game and say this is a terrible game after, like, 7 hours of playing it. I feel like if you...
7 hours? Dude, I would review the game after 30 minutes of playing. That's all you need. That's literally all you need. If a game doesn't seem interesting in, like, the first 30 minutes to an hour, the game's probably just shit later on. It's like, It's like the cost-sunk fallacy of, wasting your time, essentially, when people say, oh, you need to play 20 hours of this game and then it gets good. Now, the game gets good because you have already probably wasted 3 or 4 days of your time in it, and now you have no other choice but to call it good.
You want to give a review for a game, you should beat the game. That's my benchmark. If you can't beat
That's
the
a
game,
stupid
then
benchmark.
you can't give a review. It's that fucking simple. You can give your first impressions, you can do all that stuff, but the truth is that my first impressions playing Starfield on day 1 were pretty good. I flew around in the ship, I went around, I killed pirates. The problem wasn't the first day, the problem was the second and the third day were the same as the first day. And I'd say even that they were worse because I wasn't making as much progress then. So yes, of course I didn't shit on the game early.
Again, I saw the videos, like, yeah, he just ran around an open field and nothing interesting happened. That was pretty much it for the majority of time. And then when he actually found stuff to actually, do and shoot and whatever, well, the shooting was bad. The shooting was terrible. Until he got, like, a shotgun or something like that. That's a really, really bad benchmark.
Early on. And I know that it would have been very popular for me to do that, but
I'll
that
take.
wasn't the way that I felt about it. So whenever people get mad at me like, oh, you're not shitting on this, you need to be shitting on this more. No, I don't shit on things to shit on them. I shit on them because I don't think they're very good. It's not that...
Well, he was running around and it wasn't very good, but this is why people aren't mad because of that take. That's deflection. People are mad because he experienced the game in a shitty way and he didn't say anything. Yeah, it happens.
Simple. So I don't know. Like, yeah, one day game Andes. Yeah, exactly.
Well,
do you need to eat dog poop?
You don't exactly need more than 1 day. 1 day is actually a lot of time.
No, it tastes bad.
Say yes.
No, but this isn't dog poop. It's a lot more complicated than that. You
I
could
would
say
say
something
less.
like Gollum is dog poop for sure. But there's a lot of games that you don't really even know that they're problematic until way later down the line. Like New World was a great example of this. New World was a great experience for the first, like, probably 20 hours that you played the game. And then after that, it fell off a cliff. So the real...
That's not true. That's not true. I get... to defend him a little bit here, I kind of guess. Because Asmongold, as far as I can tell, doesn't play games while thinking. He kind of is against thinking most of the time, in fact. But when he plays games, as far as I can tell, he doesn't think about what he is doing. He's kind of just in the moment and doing things. But you see, most people actually think about stuff. When you're in Starfield and you're running around to objective and it takes 5 minutes and you don't encounter anything in the way, a reasonable person is going to say, well, that's not really too interesting now, is it? When you shoot a clip of 50 bullets into a basic level 4 enemy while being level 5 and you don't even kill them and have to reload, a normal person says, well, that's pretty feels bad, man. But he doesn't. He doesn't.
The real problem is a lot of times that you don't really run into the problems that games have very early on. Diablo 4 is another great example. Both of these games had a tremendous and amazing new player experience, and then once the kind of meat of the game took hold...
well, no, they're completely differently built games. Diablo has no role-playing, Diablo doesn't have shooting or anything, Diablo can be rated in the same exact way that you play a sorceress and you want to use fireball as your clearing skill, and then you understand, oh wait, life is pain and torture, this cannot be actually even used. Things of that nature.
That's whenever they really turned into garbage. You see what I'm saying? Now, what would I rate Starfield so far? This is not a review.
Also, the base way of actually separating at least Diablo from Starfield is very simple. Diablo is supposed to be the game that starts after you finish the campaign and get to a certain point. Starfield is a game that's supposed to be fun, as enjoyable at point 1 and point 20 the same. So, there's a huge difference in that.
I think it's like a 5 or a 6.
Yeah, I
don't
called
think
it a
it's
6.
3.
Yeah,
I think it's a 5 or a 6.
I called it
the
a
company,
6.
not the
7
influencers
at
cashing
best.
the checks. You're both wrong. You are. They are both wrong, but the company is the one that can stop it, and the content creators will always find a way to, people, you can't rely on somebody not taking a big paycheck for something like this. I think it just
True.
makes sense. Yeah,
It's big
especially in
money.
like such a competitive industry. It's a lot better than Forspoken. Yeah, I think it is a lot better than Forspoken. So that's why I didn't
Still
shit on
don't
the
know what
game initially.
Forspoken is.
And the reason why also is that, like, I didn't
Nice.
really understand the game that well. And so I wanted to understand the game, and I wanted to figure it out. Because I don't like shitting on games that I don't really...
I mean, that's a reasonable take, but I watched how he played. Like, the guy doesn't understand how crafting works. Okay? It's like, we're talking... So, imagine you have two options. To do these two options, you need to acquire X, and the other one is the same. Well, Asmongold acquires none of it, and then is confused why it doesn't work. So, him saying that you need to understand the game is reasonable. But the thing is, most people are capable of understanding something as simple as this in like 2 or 3 hours. He needed like 2 days or something like that. So yeah, his take is reasonable, but his take excludes the fact that he is way below the average in understanding things when it comes to, well, games and a lot of other things.
really understand.
So it's a huge
I just
take.
don't think that it's very... it's just like... It's like getting mad for the sake of getting mad. What are you doing getting mad like this? What the fuck, right?
No, again, when you don't understand basic crafting in the game, like why doesn't it work? When you don't have the materials and it clearly tells you do not have the materials and you're like confused, why can't you craft shit? That's different. That's the pat yourself on the head. That's slightly different, Azzy.
So that's how I see it, man. And if people like this game, base building and shipbuilding, it's a 7. Yeah, it's gonna be there are some people that think it's a 10.
Shipbuilding is useless. Base building
I'm happy
is
for them.
useless.
Let's see what the other ones are, and so I'll look and see what else Quinn said about the game.
Could this be a two-part
Bethesda didn't
video?
allow themselves to be criticized. Minimized information about their game, and the subreddit is defending them. But Chris Wilson came out before the league. He let his consumers critique him through a medium of streamers, giving consumers as much information as humanly possible to make decisions on how they spend their money. And this is how the subreddit attacked them. Yep. Bro, the way that they marketed this game was like some endless possibilities.
Yep.
Fucking crazy.
Yep.
Infinity story.
And by the way, that was one of my criteria. Why, before the game was released, I said that this most likely is gonna turn into a garbage dumpster fire. Because Bethesda has said countless possibilities, endless stories, side quests, 15 times fidelity, 20 billion times the graphic. Literally every single time they release a game. And they have, every single time they have released a game, they have said, this has no bugs! And it's buggy shit. Bethesda does this every time. And every time they do it, the game sucks. The game is buggy, there's no endless quests. It's just, find one badass and deliver it to some guy somewhere, and, that's pretty much what it's called today. So, that already, by the way, was a huge red flag. Because Bethesda doesn't even, by the way, change the brand of Snake Oil that they're selling. Todd Howard literally has nailed this down to a T because the Bethesda fanboys don't care. They just want to hear him say 16 times more fidelity. That's it.
Do anything you want.
Yep.
So I played more of the game off stream, like I promised I would. And I have obtained, I think, 3 or 4 of the powers that you get from the temples. I cannot express what a boring experience that was. It was probably the stupidest thing
Yeah, sounds like a Bethesda main story, honestly, if we ignore Fallout games.
I've ever done. All you would do is you talk to the guy in the tank top, like the black guy in the tank top at like the satellite, and then he says, go over there and get this one. And then you come back, he says, oh man, I've been working
I told you it's Skyrim. How many times did I say this is Skyrim?
out a lot. Oh, jeez. Okay, we'll go over there and get the other one. And then except that happens a couple more times, and it's done. And you go to another another moon or another planet. Who
That
cares
looks the
whether
same.
it's a moon or a planet? And you're running through the planet. There's nothing anywhere.
Yep.
It's a barren fucking
Yep.
wasteland. There's like...
See, Asmon, this is what most people noticed playing the, first 10 minutes of the game. You see? This is why you don't need to finish the game to review it, to critique it. This is what literally the majority of the player base noticed when they first landed on a planet and they decided to go to an objective. They ran in a straight line on autopilot because there's nothing in between.
Over in the corner, there's like some like stupid level 5 mob
Yep.
that like tries to attack you and you kill it.
Or it's level 30 and it's like 29 levels above you and you die. That also can happen. It's a Bethesda game.
And then you don't get anything for it. You're going on a wild goose chase trying to do like a scan to try to find the different anomalies, but then the new anomalies don't spawn whenever you do the scan. So then you have to teleport back to the ship in order to reset the quest progression to get the next spawn point for the next anomaly. You do that 4 times, then you finally fucking find where the temple is, and the process of finding and getting the power is running around in this zero gravity area collecting sparklies. And then you do that enough times, and you run into a ball, or sorry, like a halo type thing, and...
You see, this is why everyone loves Fallout New Vegas. Because everything he just named is not Fallout New Vegas. Okay? Every single thing he just named now is not Fallout New Vegas. This is why people love Fallout New Vegas. This is why Fallout New Vegas, ironically not made by Bethesda, is the best Bethesda game out there. I mean, that must sting when the best Bethesda game in the history of ever is, a game not released by Bethesda itself.
Then your guy's like... And then you've got to go talk to Vladimir again.
Yeah, because contacting people is, impossible in the future.
And then you go over there, he says, oh, you like doing that, Moon? Oh, you did? All right. Whoa.
No, I'll mention this again. The stupidest thing that currently exists in Starfield is the fact that you have, you go to Earth, the old Earth, and then the stupid girl tells you, this is the old Earth, it's uninhabited, and it's like, well, duh, my character should honestly know this. Why are you telling me this? It's like common knowledge in the future. It's like, yeah, Earth's uninhabited. Not a big deal, Everyone kind of knows this. And then it's like, okay, we should go there. And she's like, and your response can be, I want to walk on the moon. I want to walk on the moon. I want to walk. Like, it's a big deal. No, it's in the setting of Starfield, the moon is literally just another rock. And you have been probably on at least, at least 5 different rocks in your lifetime before you start Starfield, right? As the background for your character. Bruh, it's not special at all. And it has a lot of these, oh, this is special. Go walk on the moon, feel special. And it completely takes you out because it's like your character's being treated like what the hell is happening? Why? Why is this shouldn't be a special thing in the future?
Oh, I got good news for you. There's another moon. And you just gotta do it again.
And it's the same moon
You do
in
it again.
actuality.
Yeah, what the fuck? And there's no gameplay to it. It's just like a mindless, brainless, content devoid.
I think this is where we're gonna stop because I don't know. Doesn't seem like there's gonna be a lot more there. But yeah, and again, this is everything you can gauge from the game in the first 2 hours of the game. That's literally it. In the first 2 hours of the game, your impression, if you're actually looking for what's good about the game, if you're actually like, you know, thinking slightly about what's happening, that's going to be in your impression. You don't need to play 10 hours, you don't need to play 20 hours, you don't need to install 15 mods or finish the storyline 7 times to come to this conclusion. That's it. Anyway, this was Quizzer Sensei. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already, and have a nice day. Bye-bye.